Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have any questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached.
Around?
That is one of the ways. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those of you that need instant gratification in this millennial-based world. And of course, the show's Twitter feed is at Skimpod. That's Skimpod. For the more patient amongst you, which is none of us, let's be honest, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again, being spelled with a K. We're also available via Apple Podcast, something I've never heard of, Stitcher Radio. Are any of you still using that shit? TuneIn Radio, whatever the fuck that is, I couldn't tell you. Google Play, I've heard of that. I don't use it, but if you do, thank you. Spotify, now that one I use, so find us on there. I know we're on there. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Now I ask that you please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show, because honestly, I don't do that shit. And I need someone to pick up my slack. Now, I hear that there is a group of people here that collectively discuss music, and they provide for you, yes you, a pod called Cast. It's a musical discussion show built on a hip-hop foundation, which seems to be what makes the musical world turn these days, and I hear it's pretty swell. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and your host, Internet's Tasty Tayrell 713.
Let me tell you what I ain't. We ain't thugs for the sake of just being thugs. Nobody do that where we grew up, nigga, duh.
Nigga, duh.
The poverty line, we not above. So out comes the mask and gloves, cause we ain't feeling the love. We ain't doing crime for the sake of doing crimes. We moving dimes cause we ain't doing fine. 1 out of 3 of us is locked up doing time. You know what type of shit can do to a nigga mind? My mind on my money. Money on my mind. If you owe me $10, you ain't giving me $9.
Ain't giving me $9.
Y'all ain't give me 40 acres and a mule. So I got my Glock 40, now I'm cool. And if Al Sharpton is speaking for me, somebody give him the word and tell him I don't approve. Tell him I'll remove the curses. If you tell me my school's gonna be perfect. When Jenna 6 don't exist, tell him that's when I'll stop saying bitch.
Bitch.
Say hello to the bad guy. Hello and welcome to it. It's Stays Crunchy and Milk, episode 392. And I'm joined by my best friends, Tatum216.
Hello.
Lunchbox2099.
So happy that we could all meet up tonight and come together like butt cheeks.
And my homeboy, the real ODP.
Hello, bad guy.
Rest in Paradise Daunte Wright. Rest in Paradise Adam Toledo. And every other person murdered by police forces that decided they were the judge, jury, and executioner of these people. I'm kind of sick of this bullshit. But we gonna get by. And we gonna sit and chat and laugh and have a good night because that's what we do.
Damn right.
So, I got a selection of news stories. You know how we gets down. Groovy. Not a one of them COVID related. Because that's how far along we've come at this point. I don't even think I got any bad news. I think I got all just reasonable little stories.
All right.
We are going to have a good time tonight because I need that shit. And sometimes you just got to do that. First story, because you know we keep it Ohio locked down, is from the good folk over at Cleveland.com. This is Susan Glasser. Rail Advocacy Group wants Cleveland Amtrak station back at Tower City. For those in the know, we used to work in Tower City, or at least in the building that is connected to Tower City. And it is known, the building that is above that structure is known as the Terminal Tower, because it used to be the terminus of the rail system back in the day. It used to be what it was. That's where you went to go catch the trains if you lived in this crazy town. And people want that back. Let's read the story, though. I'm over here giving you my little input. Cleveland, Ohio, All Aboard Ohio, a passenger rail advocacy group, voted this week to recommend moving Cleveland's Amtrak station back to Tower City Center in anticipation of a dramatic increase in train service in the coming years. Ken Prendergast, public affairs director. I'm sorry, what?
Any relation to Teddy?
No, Prendergast, not Pendergast.
But he's related to Teddy Pender ass down.
Public affairs director for All Aboard Ohio said the Tower City location is more centrally located, offers more connectivity to RTA trains and buses, and is closer to downtown hotels, businesses, and tourism sites. It's also a more hospitable location in the winter than the current site at 200 Memorial Shoreway, across the road from First Energy Stadium and not far from the Lake Erie shore. We think there's a lot of reasons to have it at Tower City, he said. All Aboard Ohio, a private nonprofit organization, doesn't have any authority to move the station other than its power of persuasion. For decades, passengers used what was known as the Cleveland Union Terminal, built in 1929 on Public Square. Amtrak hasn't used the building since the 1970s, when it left because of high cost. In 1977, Amtrak opened the new station, a modest, hard-to-find facility that is in need of significant upgrades. I don't know if you've ever been to the Amtrak station downtown. My boy Fran, when he comes to town, oftentimes rides in on the rails, and I would have to go pick him up from there. It is hidden. I'll put it to you that way. It is well tucked away. If you know where the rapid station is over there by the Brown Stadium, it kind of sits, I don't know.
Diagonal.
Yeah, next to it in a way, but that's where it's at, and it's weird. It's dumb. So, Amtrak spoke. I'm sorry, what?
I've always wanted to catch the train.
Yeah, same. Amtrak spokesman Mark Magliari said the agency would be happy to talk about the station with partners in Cleveland. We would welcome a conversation about improving or relocating the station within the community, he said. He added the Amtrak favors stations that are intermodal, where trains can easily connect with public transit and buses. Any change in location would be enormously expensive and require sign-off from numerous entities, including Bedrock Detroit, the owner of Tower City, and the city of Cleveland, which owns the land under the Amtrak station. Prendergast pointed out the existing property won't be cheap to update either, and will be necessary in order to accommodate a major increase in train traffic. So, Amtrak has floated a plan that would bring as many as 22 daily trains through Cleveland, up from the current 4, including a new route linking Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, and Cincinnati. But there are many steps between now and then, including approval by Congress. Local officials have in recent years called for converting the current Amtrak station into a multimodal facility with connectivity to bus and other transportation systems. I would adore if they could make Terminal Tower once again the terminus of the train. It would be great. It would be a return to form, what that building was technically made for to begin with. And I fuck with the very angles that, you walk in the tower, it's got like a kind of a slight downward angle. Well, it's like that because people were carrying bags and trolleys full of people's luggage and so forth. That place is still, even to this day, made for trains. It just is. And I would certainly love them to bring that back. I was excited when I saw this story. I realize it's like so far off from being a possibility, but I'm all about that life, man. If they could make trains a thing here, I'd be on that shit. Every time I go to Boston has the Acela line. It's on the Acela line on the East Coast, which means they have the high speed transit, high speed for America, not high speed for the rest of the world. And so we were in Boston last time we went, and I was like, bro, New York is only like 4 hours away. We can hop the train, go to New York for a day, and then come back and just do the rest of PAX. You know what I'm saying? But we did not, because the train is still, to this day, because of how few they run, still kind of expensive. But who knows, man? I really would like to hop the train and do a nice trip on it. But the problem with the trains in Cleveland is they all come at like wild hours, like 4 in the morning and shit like that. So right now, not the lick. But who knows? This is from the next story after is over from the good people at Complex. This is by Jose Martinez. Louisiana woman arrested for refusing to give back $1.2 million accidentally deposited into her account.
Oh, they arrested her?
A Louisiana woman was arrested Wednesday after she allegedly refused to return more than $1.2 million accidentally deposited into her brokerage account by Charles Schwab & Co. NOLA.com reports. About a month after Kellen Spadoni opened an account with Schwab back in January, the company installed enhancements to the software used to transfer assets. Schwab intended on transferring $82.56 into her Fidelity Brokerage Services account, but Spadoni received $1,205,619 instead. The error was immediately noticed, and a reclaim request was submitted by Schwab the next day to the institution that handles the money, mistakenly sent to her account. Okay. The company received a cash not available notification, which meant that Spadoni had already taken the money out of her account. I know there's no way this woman. Well, I guess maybe she could just move it to her bank account, right? Because that's her Schwab account. So yeah, it could be a separate thing. I'm like, ain't no way this lady just went and got the briefcase, right? Schwab contacted the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, which opened a criminal investigation and discovered that at least $48,000 was used to buy a 2021 Hyundai Genesis sports utility vehicle. Detectives were ultimately able to retrieve about 75% of what was accidentally given to Spadoni. Spadoni has been charged with theft valued over $25,000, bank fraud, and illegal transmission of monetary funds, and was fired from her job as a 911 dispatcher for the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, where she had been working for over 4 years. Schwab has filed a federal lawsuit against Spadoni for dodging its attempts to recover the money. In the lawsuit, Schwab cites an agreement in the contract with Spadoni which states that if a client receives an overpayment of funds, that person is required to return the full amount.
Oh, okay.
Spadoni is being held at a nearby correctional facility in lieu of $50,000 bond.
Well, she wouldn't have the $55,000 bond if they didn't accidentally give her the money. They won't let her spend that accidental money.
That's lightweight some bullshit, but I know that's it was in the fine print that like if you guess, because that shit must have happened before in order for them to have to put that in there.
Yeah, it's probably not the first time they done fucked up and sent somebody too much dough.
Yeah, I guess they can't accidentally give somebody money and you can't say like, well, it's mine now. This ain't fucking a candy bar on the fucking playground. You can't keep that shit.
Ew. You shouldn't do it then either.
I'm assuming it's wrapped.
When I read that shit like that, I realize how fucking dumb the system of cash bond is anyway. It's a setup to it is a setup to continually fuck people over. There is no if the only punishment is monetary, then the only criminals are the poor. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's bullshit at that point. It's like there's no way this lady's ever going to be able to come up with $50,000, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever the 10% or whatever they need of it.
Especially
it's like she's gonna sit in jail without an ability to get out. The cash bond system is bullshit, and I don't think the founding fathers meant the our judicial system to work this way. But we shall see. A lot of cities are getting rid of cash bond.
Well, they would be happy about all the black people who couldn't get out, though.
I mean, assuredly. What, you found a way to enslave them but not enslave them? Well done. Yeah, they think it's ingenious, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
Oh my gosh.
And then Thomas Jefferson would say, where are they? All these black women being held.
What the bitches at? What the titties
at? This is from CNN. This is from Jack Guy over at CNN. Canadian MP apologizes after appearing naked during video meeting. A Canadian politician has apologized after being spotted in a state of undress during a parliamentary video call on Wednesday.
How do you do that, though?
Will Amos, federal member of parliament, MP, for Pontiac, Quebec, forgive me, I had to pronounce that right. It's Quebec, not Quebec, just in case you ever wondered. For the Liberal Party, can be seen inappropriately attired in a screenshot that is circulating online. Fellow MP Claude de Bellefeuille, can't pronounce it, it's French, of the Bloc Québécois party pointed out Amos's indiscretion during the question period. We have seen a member during question period improperly dressed, that is, unclothed. So perhaps remind members, especially the male members, that suits and ties are appropriate, said Del Bellefeuille. Look, I'm going to spell it for you, and I want any of y'all motherfuckers to try it. D-E, Bell, B-E-L-L-E, Feuille, F-E-U-I-L-L-E. En français.
I didn't question you. I was cool with whatever you were saying.
It's probably
you know how many years it took me to stop saying library? No, I can't pronounce shit.
It's probably Foyle, Bellefeuille, de Bellefeuille en français. According to the parliamentary translator.
I hear de burger.
Hamburger.
We have seen that the member was in very good shape, but I think this member should be reminded of what is appropriate and to control his camera. Speaker of the House, Anthony Rota, responded to the lady, who's the person who says this, whose French name I can't pronounce. I would like to thank the honorable member for her observations, said Rhoda. I missed that. Amos then posted an apology on his Twitter account. I made a really unfortunate mistake today, and obviously I'm embarrassed by it. My camera was accidentally left on as I changed into work clothes after going for a jog, reads the tweet.
That happened on This Is Us.
I know, you are correct. I sincerely apologize to all my colleagues in the house.
Is this one of those fake,
This is CNN. I got it from a source.
Is this a fake him by the asshole?
Can we confirm whether or not he was also a cat?
I sincerely apologize to all my colleagues in the House. It was an honest mistake. It won't happen again. Amos is a member of the Liberal Party of Canada, which is led by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. CNN has contacted Amos and the Prime Minister's office for comment. In June 2020, the Canadian Parliament saw another controversy after the leader of Canada's New Democratic Party, Jagmeet Singh, was made to leave the building after calling another politician racist. Singh made the accusation in the House of Commons after Alain Théragun from the Bloc Québécois party declined to support a motion calling on Parliament to acknowledge the existence of systemic racism in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force. Bloc Québécois tweeted to address the exchange and urged Singh to apologize for his remarks, which they say tarnish Théragun's reputation.
You know why I pulled you over, eh?
And that is it for the news. I told you it's going to just be fine news, good news, nothing sad. Not trying to fuck with nothing sad. I'm in a zone right now. And that's where we wrap it up at. Once again this week, we at the behest of a member of this podcast, we all watched a movie. And this one was way more difficult for your boy because I am empathetic to a fault, and I feel secondhand embarrassment for people or shame or worry or whatever. And so this is a difficult movie to watch. But upon Anthony's suggestion, we all just agreed to check out Bad Trip. It's Eric Andre and Lil Rel Howard's new road trip movie.
And Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish, respectful. I'm sorry.
Better. She was a delight in this movie.
Put some respect on her name. And
put some respect on it.
So, and that is available on Netflix. They filmed this in 2019, and they've been waiting to get it out. It's supposed to come out last year, and of course, COVID. And
and also, it was released on
Amazon Prime on accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They didn't. It was not supposed to because Amazon. Of course, it's a Netflix movie. Well, Netflix bought it, so it is like I said, a buddy comedy road trip movie. But it's what they've done is you can disagree with me if you think. I think expertly weaved within it a prank film, a la Jackass or those kind of movies. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody in this movie except for six people.
A few people here sprinkled here and there.
No, I can literally tell you there are 6 people that are not actors that are actors in this, and the rest are real people in real life situations. So, that's a fun bit of information to learn about this movie. So
it made the credits really enjoyable.
Yes, it did. Yes. It did. And when everybody finds out that they were being pranked and so forth.
One part in there that I don't think was in the credits was when they went into the barbershop.
Oh no! Don't worry, I got that.
Okay.
yeah. I'm ready for it. So Eric Andre plays Chris. Lil Rel Howard plays his friend Bud, and Chris sees his high school crush at a car wash, and is like, "Yo." And him and Bud are chatting about it and so forth. And he's like, "Yo, man, we gonna get out of this town one day, and it's gonna be great," and so forth and so on. But they fast forward to a year later, and they still haven't got out of Florida. And old girl comes into Chris's new job because at the start of the movie, he's working at a car wash, and now at this point,
fired from.
Yeah, he's working at a smoothie spot, and Maria. His childhood crush walks in and says, they get a conversation going. Says she works and she's lives in New York and works at a gallery and so forth. And he decides that he's gonna go on a road trip to go professes love to her. Standard romantic comedy bits. What makes the Gusta movie great, or at least fun to watch, or super duper embarrassing to the point that you have to cover the screen and just listen on headphones because it's the only way you can do it, is that they constantly are doing pranks on people throughout this movie, and they're glorious. They really are really well done pranks. With one exception, and we'll get to
I wonder
that.
if you're gonna see you're gonna say the same one as me.
So
before he goes any further, I think I was talking with Anthony when I was watching the movie because I was watching it while I was working.
Yeah.
And at the point I was at in the movie, I literally pinged him. I think I'm at the part right now where Gabe texted us that he did not think his wife would appreciate it. Like that part of the movie. Like when you texted us when you were watching it, and you were like, oh, my wife doesn't like this. I'm pretty sure that's the same part I was at, but we will confirm in a moment.
Okay. She wouldn't have watched it. She was burned off of
Unhinged. Yeah. Well, I after having
hold on, time out. Can you I wanted to hear the story about why you had to wash dishes because of Unhinged.
Hold on. We might as well share this with the people. So, last week's recording ended up hiccuping in a way that messed up Gabe's recording. We only got about 40 minutes of his work in the podcast, and we didn't notice it for like another 20, 30 minutes. And so, a good chunk of Gabriel's conversation was missing. Plus, he didn't get to review or give us his take on Unhinged.
I worked really hard to see that movie too.
Yeah, I know. You got home from work and why we like pushed back the show last week so you could finish it and so forth.
Yeah, and then ended up not being able. Okay, so what I thought about Evil Falling Down
was it falling down itself evil? Have you seen that with adult eyes?
I have not seen that with adult eyes. I think Hey, look, whatever you say about Falling Down, I guess in comparison to Unhinged, he was more sympathetic. But like, my wife watched the movie with me, and she's like, "You entitled men, and you're thinking you own the world and everything. That's it. You made me watch this movie and put me in this mood. You go clean the kitchen." Like, but the podcast ends so late, and I'm always so tired after the podcast. Do I really have to clean the kitchen? I didn't make this movie. So, yes, I did have to end up cleaning the kitchen.
I'm going to be honest, I'm really confused by that reaction. What about it is entitled?
Well, he's like the fact that he was he gets to act like an asshole because he's divorced or something like that. Like,
no, he gets to act like an asshole because he's a white man. We know why. So I guess if your wife is just hating a white man, I'll allow for it.
You should have told her the first thing you should have said, "I'm not a white man. You can't put that on me, Jack."
Job turkey.
Yeah, well,
you just slide out. You know what I'm saying? Hop in the fucking Coupe de Ville and ride down the street.
Maybe feel July.
You should have put a knife through a tomato and left it on the counter.
Well, in general, what'd you think of Unhinged? Just so we can get your perspective, sir.
I cringed at a lot of the same things you guys cringed at. I didn't notice until like you pointed out, like, oh, he really did drop that accent, didn't he? And the whole and even the part that Box, who loved it, cringed at was the whole, here's your courtesy tap. I'm like, oh, come on the fuck on.
Yeah, that's the part where I got up and walked out the room.
That I was like not happy with that one. That part.
Yeah.
No. I walked out of the room when the girlfriend got killed, and I was just like, I'll finish it. And I sat down. I sat back down. But when she double tapped, she's like, double tap this bitch. I was out. I was just like, all right.
It really did try to be bigger than it was with that whole opening montage of like, so what's it blaming?
right?
Yeah, like is it blaming the lack of police? If we had more police, we wouldn't have to worry about the Russell Crowes of this world, or like if social media or something like that. First of all, I don't know why they were blaming social media.
No, because that
didn't that wasn't in the plot as well. Yeah, but
social media is like it's so low hanging fruit now. It's kind of like when people say, "Oh, I pay my taxes." Well, you lost the conversation with me right there.
Social media is the new Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson's the new Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, he's pretty awful. So we'll just not.
Yeah, it turned out he's a piece of shit.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, didn't we always know it?
I guess it's something like when you get proof, you're like, oh, you're that kind of piece of shit.
I mean, when I found out he wasn't the dude off the Wonder Years, I was out. I was like, forget him.
What? He ain't bald? Fuck that.
But it was a quick watch. It was enjoyable for what it was. I just wish it...
No, I just can't. I cannot agree with that.
I feel like it definitely had its highlights. When that cop got hit by the car, that was awesome.
It really was like he was partnered with the bad guy from Final Destination.
When he stabbed that dude with a dull ass butter knife, I was like, that is kind of awesome. Because if you ever been to a Greasy Spoon diner, them knives can't cut shit.
My shock moment was, of course, when dude got hit with a car, which we discussed last week.
He got hit, and he's like, he's okay. Oh, yeah, he's okay.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's exactly what
he got hit, and like, okay, he's taking it this far. And then, like, then the guys out on the road are like, oh, he's okay. And, like, bam.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Like, extra dead.
And all he was doing is trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah, but with the butter knife, I was just like, wait, that was a whole nother level of, like, this dude not giving a fuck. Because
that's like breaking a chicken's neck. He came through that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Because when the dude got hit by the other car, that wasn't like technically his fault.
Yeah, he would definitely get charged with that.
Oh yeah, that's legally.
In movie world, everybody just walks away scot free.
In this case, you know what I'm saying, he took a pair of shears to the eye.
I was bothered by the end where they just let him like, oh, well, your son has red marks on his neck from being strangled and you're still bleeding, but you're free to go. Like, that bothered me too.
We're gonna wrap this up and jump back over to Bad Trip, which is what we really are here to discuss. But okay. I just want to know.
But I just wanted to give my thoughts. I'm trying to give highlights. He was properly menacing. I was menaced by Russell Crowe. Good for him.
I want your letter grade.
I don't want to make I don't want to make Lunch mad, but
no.
I came up with a rating scale.
No, okay. Hold on. What I need is his letter grade as regards to Boss's letter grade from last week. So I need your letter grade.
It gets a D.
Yes, it does. Because that's what it deserves.
It didn't fail.
He don't got to go to summer school.
Now, you hold your rating review till we get to the end of Bad Trip. That's the first time we're going to use it here on Bad Trip.
All right.
And we got a whole new rating system, and I'm excited for how the way it goes. Having just found out who invented tines on the Doughboys today, shocking. I was like, you're the one who came up with that? That's dope. So I like that you are yourself about to become a ratings father of some sort.
Sure.
Mm.
So, I cannot for the life of...
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Oh, yeah. This movie, look, we talking about we talking about all of it. I, for the life of me, am not a guy who can watch prank shows or prank movies or jackasses, the bad grandpas and stuff like that. I also get embarrassed just watching the Goldbergs. Because Adam will do something so embarrassing that I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta walk out the room. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how my mind and how my mind reacts. Oh my, I could never watch that shit. Ever. I know about that shit and just knowing about it fucks with me. You know what I'm saying?
I watch every episode, but I always skip Scott's Tots.
I think, that's the only one I've only seen once.
So, I mean, like you said, y'all, I don't watch the Borats of the world and things like that of that nature. So, what is y'all general thoughts on the film? What you think about it as just a buddy comedy, but also as a prank movie?
Okay, here's a few things about it. one, I got a lot of Dumb and Dumber vibes off of it. Yeah, I mean, a guy taking road trip for a crush.
Yeah.
And also the whole, like, he's fantasizing, and then he comes back from the fantasy, and he's almost hitting an oncoming car. That was totally aped off of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
But, like, so Black Ass Dumb and Dumber, I don't know. They weren't they weren't dumb guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the pranks, they were good, but some of them were predictable. And I'd say it definitely finished strong. I liked Tiffany Haddish was a delight in it. I really enjoyed her. The pranks I enjoyed, her coming out from underneath the bus. That guy made that scene. He's like,
oh yeah,
go. That guy was like, I want to hang out with that guy.
I know that
he
was not going to snitch. He just was like, that way. She didn't say she went that way. He didn't say to go that way. He was like, that way. I was like, you can never be said that he told, because he didn't. He didn't say shit.
Her coming back, though.
Oh, that part was
so good. Like, you got to get the fuck
out. They looking for you.
Oh my gosh.
She had to come back because we had to see what he was going to say.
That was one where producers probably was like, go back, let me see what we can get out of this dude. It was clear. It was so clear that he was going to be like, yeah, you want to juice that for some more comedy.
I like that. I like the woman who prayed at the end. I don't know who was. Okay, was the woman who first got on there and said, "What'd you do?" When he was hanging off the roof, like, was that an actress? Because
no,
really,
I'm gonna go through it with you. There are 6 actors in this whole movie. Okay, so it's Eric Andre, it's Lil Rel, it's Tiffany Haddish, it's the lady who played Maria. It is wait a minute, you know what? I think the cop was an actor too. So, but I mean the main cast,
the bus driver.
It was the bus driver and what you call it, but also the gorilla was of course an actor. So
we're gonna talk about that part.
Yeah. And so everybody else, just about everybody else, if I'm not mistaken, are from what I've read, are indeed real people.
So that woman wildly said, like, "What'd you do to get her to do that?"
Exactly.
I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah.
So she was a delight then.
Right.
And then the woman, "It's someone else, please. Try to take over." I thought the film finished strong. That was laughing at the end a lot.
Yeah.
The problem I guess I had was I didn't like either the characters. Not that I didn't like the actors or Little Rel or Eric Andre. I don't watch a lot of their stuff. I know Eric Andre from one show, and I know of him, and I only seen Little Rel in Get Out. But I didn't like I didn't dislike the characters. I just didn't have a reason to root for them.
Yeah. They didn't give you a lot. You didn't get a lot of backstory. You kind of you of course filled in the blanks yourself, but you didn't get a setup that you need. You got basically what you got off the rip was some pranks. Yeah. And so you probably would have needed a little more setup to made for a better to get to know and like your characters more. Like I said, you get backfilled, but still. Daniel, what about you, man?
Well, it was hard for me to even watch this movie because I knew it was up there and I had no intention of watching it. And part of that is because I had watched Eric Andre's comedy special within the last few months.
Yeah.
And he's just so fucking, like, over the top with his, like, I'm going to make you uncomfortable and I'm going to keep making you uncomfortable because it's funny to me, that I didn't want to watch a whole movie of that. And that's what I knew it would be. I knew it would be crude humor and, like, make people uncomfortable humor. And I wanted no part of that. So when Anthony picked it, I was like, fuck, well, I got to take one for the team. So I put that shit on and, like, the first, like, I want to say, like, half of that movie, I was like, this is exactly what the fuck I thought this was. And, like, I tried to, like, keep my, like, I can't believe I'm watching this inside. Well, then it got to the gorilla part. And
yeah.
That's where I was like, this is what Gabe was talking about in that text message. Am I correct in that?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm like, I had...
Yeah, it was way over the top.
It was over the top. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you for putting it in words. Go ahead.
So they got to that part, and that's when I'm like, oh, this is where Gabe's lost his shit. And so I was like, I understand. The fake vomit, like, I could do without that.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. He already fell. Why did they take it to the next step? I don't know. Concussion
protocol. Concussion. If you have a bad concussion, vomit is usually a part of it. It's like I understand why they did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's good, but I understand why.
Well, a couple of the reactions from the people, like, were funny. Like, the lady in the diner, I could totally see someone being like that, like being a nosy person and, like, just telling everybody who comes in the story and, like, getting involved and shit. Like,
my man was like, Jackie! That was so good.
Too much.
He talked too much.
Yeah, that was a good reaction from what I would assume would be her husband.
Yeah, or somebody who know her. So I was like, that is wild.
Yeah, I thought Tiffany Haddish did a good job throughout the movie.
Yeah, she was the best person in the movie.
Yeah, her scenes were definitely, like, really comedic, and I enjoyed those the most. But I also think it's because more of, like, Eric Andre's crude humor shit. Like, the part where he's, like, having the, like, Ferris Bueller, like, dance number in the mall, I was like, this is so bad. Like,
yeah, that was cringy. That was cringy as fuck.
I thought it was dumb at first, but then as they added more elements to it, I was like, oh, okay, this works. Because it became everything every romantic comedy has, you know what I'm saying? Somebody singing about some broad, you know what I'm saying? And then other people coming in singing and dancing, and the people in the mall sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? And so that's what made that one a delight to watch, because it's like, yeah, and
it was, all right, so I have to admit, though, up to that point, I didn't realize that the people before that weren't actors or actresses or I guess, like, in this day and age, just saying actor. I didn't realize all the people before that weren't actors. Because, like, the guy at the car wash in the beginning, he was, like, so with it that I just assumed that he was an actor.
Yeah.
And
That's a cool ass black guy.
Yeah, like, he tried, you know? But then, like, yeah, when they got to the mall and all the people were staring in the looks, I'm like, oh, this is one of those movies. Okay.
I kind of feel like that's part of the genius of the movie, is having it down south. Yeah. Because once you get to New York and stuff, it seems like they see crazy shit all the time, and they're not going to react the same way. You're not going to get nobody praying and shit in New York as much.
Wait, but they did.
They did.
I said not as much because the gorilla part is still down south, right?
Yeah, I think they were
South Carolina.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, okay.
Like, all of them was praying and shit.
Yeah.
So,
do we know if they actually filmed that part in South Carolina though? Because, like, that was clearly like a setup kind of zoo. Because who's putting, like, animals in those, like, rickety ass cages?
You've never been through a drive-through zoo before?
It's not that part. May not have just been a part where actually they have animals at. It might just been a gated section of something else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, because again, I have a whole article that we're going to go into after we go through our own discussion about it that kind of fills in some blanks here. So I think we'll figure it out and we'll see. But
yeah, so when they get to New York, one, I was glad that, like, they didn't go the normal, like, rom-com route and, like, she's just like, fuck no, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. But, I guess can you include the doorman then for that art gallery in one of the actors?
Yeah, I think that was an actor.
Whereas I actually think I think he convinced, but I'm about to drop into IMDb right now to see if I can give you all the actors.
Yeah, because I feel like if that wasn't an actor, that dude would never have let him in.
Yeah, they think the guy walking by was.
Yeah,
that guy was not in on it. He was like, "Whoa, that worked."
All right,
Yeah.
here are where's the cast listed alphabetically, uncredited.
Well, but like, I felt like they actually did a good job of conveying a real reaction after everything with the car, like going through the art gallery.
All those people running out was funny to me.
And like when he comes back and tries to talk to her and she freaks out, like I felt like that was like a legitimate, like this would be what reality would be like, and I was happy for that. But then I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed the ending because it combined like two of my favorite things.
I knew that ending was going to be right up your alley, sir.
Yeah,
and how excellently timed or sadly timed that it wraps with that particular song.
Yeah, but like I have to say, I went into the movie thinking like, why the fuck am I watching this? I had no intention of watching this. Parts of the beginning were okay, but like there was like a lull there for a while where I was just like the mall number I didn't care for. I didn't care for the bar number. Like I was just like But then, and then the gorilla thing was just like, oh god. But then like some of the stuff in the end, like there were parts that I enjoyed, and then we get to the ending and it kind of like it ended in a way that made me happy, so I left with a good feeling. Like, the whole rest of the movie could have just been blah. But the ending kind of raised it on a high note for me personally, where I was just like, okay, this wasn't so bad.
It was such a strong ending that it makes up for, like, the parts that you just weren't feeling.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like I said, two things there I liked. And then I liked watching the credits where they revealed all the random-ass people, all get on the gag and whatnot.
That's always, like, the best parts of those movies.
Yeah, letting everybody in on the joke.
Yeah,
and it just helps. I have checked the cast listing. That guard is not listed as a credited actor, and it's a lot of people who are like uncredited. They call them uncredited. So no, I think that guard was a legit guard, and that's even more funny to me because he just was like, "Fine, man, go your ass in there, go find love, motherfucker."
Man,
come on.
And like I think I forgot we glossed over one in the beginning when he's wakes up and like scares the plumber, and then he busts through the door of that house, and that lady just like comes out of the house and cowers in the front yard.
Yeah.
That would if I were her, I'd be angry. Like when they do the actual reveal, I would be angry.
I think she's more like grateful for her life because it's like she said
she was more
like,
grateful that it was a joke.
Yeah, she was like, I thought it was about to go down. So let's go. I'm going to give you guys some of the actors that are in this movie. Like I said, that were just your little side actors. Of course, the dancers. So, you know what I'm saying? They have the dancers, the bus driver. Hunky guy. I don't know who Hunky guy is. So I can't call it.
Oh, the hunky guy that was hitting on her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And she started whooping his ass. Okay. Blind guy, which was obvious. Beat the shit out that dude. That shit was funny. Oh no! Please stop! He's blind. The priest, the priest he made out with. So of course, yeah.
I didn't. Okay, never mind. That part made me go. Never mind. I guess. I didn't care for it, but I don't want no homophobe. I don't want to be that guy.
I mean, Maria's father, the zoo guide, which makes sense, the puppeteer, the gorilla, Joseph Stalin. Did I miss Joseph Stalin in this movie?
I don't remember Joseph Stalin in
this
movie.
Fair enough. A ballroom dancer, synchronized swimmer, uncredited, art gallery prankee. So some people who are there are actually actors, but they weren't there to be actors. They were there because they thought they were in an art gallery. They probably got, invited by a casting agent or something like that. Like, hey, just come through, man. You know what I'm saying? So, party guest. This just says Anthony. Yeah, it's like a lot of these people are just people who were there, and just happened to also have IMDb credits.
I'm shocked about the doorman.
Yeah. So the doorman seems to be clear and just a halfway decent human being.
Wow.
Ant-Man, give us your breakdown, sir, as this is your choice and so forth.
I just thought I don't like Eric Andre very much at all. Like, I've watched the Eric Andre show like a handful of times, and the part about the show I love is Hannibal Buress. And I do like some of the celebrities that I don't like's reaction on the show. But man, my girlfriend was like laughing her ass off during it. Like, I did think some of the parts were funny. Like the gorilla part was funny to me. I didn't really feel like the beginning with the vacuum. I thought that was kind of stupid. Because why weren't you wearing underwear, my man?
Yeah, and what kind of suit just pops off like that?
Well, I mean, it was just a coverall, so that I mean, whatever. More than when he's bending over the car, and I'm like, why you got these smooth ass balls, bro? You know what I'm saying? He smoothed his eggs ass balls. And it's that one ball.
I didn't see a ball, but you know.
Yo, if you rewatch that scene, it's hilarious. That's the part. Cause he all bent over in the car, and he had just this one long ball. And then they at the end they showed him, like, I guess, attaching the prosthetic ball. So that makes kind of makes sense. But it's like,
I don't know. If you're one of those people in the crowd, are you buying the gorilla thing?
I mean, they were far enough away.
Yeah, it's just how stuff kind of works. You know what I'm saying? You just.
If I'm in the crowd, I'm wondering how they have a gorilla exhibit in there, and it's easy just like lift gate to get in that bitch.
Yeah,
that's kind of like where I was just like, are we sure they didn't make this zoo? You know?
Yeah.
But then I have to realize that a real zoo like that wouldn't have a fucking gorilla, just chilling. Like, they'd probably have like rabbits and shit.
I know we were pretty close to the gorilla in the at the zoo at the Cleveland Metro Zoo. If you ever go there, the gorillas are not that far away.
Yeah, but like they're behind like glass.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not behind like through. Yeah, they're not like on like a backyard gate where the gorilla could just like lift it up himself. You know,
if a gorilla can take a mat, put it down, and smooth it out so it's more comfortable, I think he can lift up a latch or something like that. So that still fucks with me when I think about that gorilla who took that mat and just like smooth it out like some human shit.
Well,
I watch this monkey on TikTok and Instagram all the time. He gets like Amazon packages and stuff from the fans.
Oh, wow.
And he's always like clicking the buttons on the phone and like opening up the packages and shit. Monkeys learn all kinds of shit.
I never saw that before. You have to send me one of those videos.
They can pull a trigger on a gun.
Now.
Okay.
They can pull a trigger on their gun. We should keep our eyes on these monkeys.
Fucking right.
So, Anthony, you know the answer, but my other two.
Like how Tyrell just ignores.
If you had to guess what scene would have gotten these men almost killed, what scene would you have guessed? No, you know, Ant. So you don't. Okay. Yeah.
Me? Yeah.
There was one where I felt like it was like a little too far. Oh man. Oh, it was in the fucking. It was in the credits when he was like going up to the dude. And he was like doing the fake peeing. And he was like peeing by the dude, and the dude like told him not to pee near him and shit. I felt like that was very contentious.
Yeah. Well, my man took that shot through that glass down. I was like, that's about to be ass. But no, that is not the answer. Gabe, you have a guess?
The barbershop's too obvious, so I'm not going to guess that one. But like I want to say, like, was it after the car accident? No, that guy was keeping the peace. Oh, good. Yeah, that was one of my favorite reactions too. That guy was a good guy. The one when he's running through.
I'm sorry, what?
The one when he's running through because he's late for work.
No. You played yourself. It was indeed the barbershop. This is an article I got from Looper, but I also have an article pulled up from USA Today. But they asked him on the Looper article, what was the most challenging part then? And his response was not getting murdered. And the person says, yeah, I read that you almost got murdered during the Chinese finger trap prank. Almost got murdered. Yeah, almost got murdered. I had my penis stuck in the Chinese finger trap with my co-star Lil Red Howery. And Howery, I've been saying How, I'm sorry. Howard, but it's Howery. And we went into the barbershop and we asked the gentleman who was cutting another gentleman's hair, may we borrow your scissors, sir? Our penises are stuck in a Chinese finger trap. He didn't think that was funny, so he tried to kill us. And if you watch that scene, that motherfucker come out with that knife in his hand, like, get the fuck on! You know what I'm saying? It's like, ooh, you were
What?
You were wildly mad, and I'm just gonna go with clearly homophobic because you thought it was some gay shit going on, not just comedy.
I would have been like, yeah, go ahead. Here they go, and I would have handed them the scissors. I said, I'm not doing it for you.
I probably would have told him to get out of there too, but I wouldn't have did it with a knife.
My man apparently went and dug up a knife. He found a knife to come at them fools, and I'm like,
yeah, he followed them throughout the shop. They already left the shop. What are you doing, man?
So they show his face. So he had to clear that.
Yeah, he ended up. They definitely end up. Not even that, because they everywhere they went, are set up to do shots. So they have probably the interior of that barbershop and everything set up to go. They have cameras in there.
They went from what I read, they went to the wrong barbershop.
That's why they didn't have any inside shots.
That is even better.
Like, and Little Rail was going to quit after that.
Yeah, that is a little too real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was going to quit, and then he called Tiffany Haddish like, I'm on the set of this movie. We went to the wrong barbershop, and dude really pulled out a knife on me. And she was just like, don't quit. And like, somehow, whoever was playing the original sister quit, and she joined the cast, and that what made him stay.
Nice. That's dope. We're big up to Tiffany Haddish for
that's like they're like real life best friends.
Yeah, that's hype. I fucked that all the way up. Things I noticed about this movie that bothered me. This world is too full of people who are quicker to pull their phone out to film some shit than to assist people who are clearly in need. It was too many people who just like, my first reaction to this man getting molested by a gorilla, let's get that on camera. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it bothered me to my core that that's like how a lot of people maneuvered. What a good thing about it, I felt like, is this movie ends up having a whole lot of heart because there are people who did help. And not just a little help, but like tried to make it a point to like that guy who separated them two from fighting. You know what I'm saying? He made a point to like, no, man, y'all got to sit and talk this out and get away from that cars that exploded and so forth and so on. That woman came along like, come on, sit down. You've been in an accident. Let me make sure you're okay and so forth and so on. And it's like, it's enough people who were truly worried about their well-being. The military guy, you know what I'm saying, at the recruiting station, really tried to talk his ass down. And you know what I'm saying. You know, some military dudes would have just probably put their foot up that dude's ass.
Could you imagine though if it had gone differently and that dude's like, "You'll suck my dick"?
Sure, you know what I'm saying. And Eric Andre probably would have sucked his dick for the joke because that's the type of dude he is. You know what I'm saying, he just would have went for the gag.
I did like how he's like, come on, now you met me for 5 minutes and you offer to suck my dick to kill you. You gotta know that's not okay, right? Like very low key response to the situation.
Yeah,
man. I would like to hope that is how most military people would be. That is my hope.
Hey.
I think a lot of military guys would have been like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here.
I said that is my hope.
All right.
But that's the part that was so touching me. That woman who prayed, who literally was like, Jesus, you know what I'm saying, just started calling on her Lord to try to do something over a bullhorn. and was just so and was just so at peace when she saw him get snatched back on the roof. It's like it was things like that. Like I said, that movie, if nothing else, like I said, it ended up having a lot of heart. And just to talk about the final scene. So as they are traveling, they open up the glove box and they see a copy of White Chicks, unrated edition, on DVD. And Lil Rel's like, yo, that's my favorite movie, man. I love it. And Eric Andre says what I have always said about that movie. They don't look anything like real people in that movie. They look awful in that movie.
Yeah, they look
I have no
victims.
idea how they think they sold that ideal because it just looks like absolute trash. But at the end of the movie, you know what I'm saying, after they done made peace and, you know what I'm saying, and so forth, he like, come on, man. I'm going to do something for you. And they go to a party in the Hamptons. It's dull as, oh my God, how do people hang out and shit like that? It's just so boring. Everything about that party seemed awful. And they come in there and fully White Chicks it. They look way better than the people in White Chicks look. So somebody just
Andre look too half bad.
Yeah, I'm saying that they clearly come along. He didn't. He looked like a lady. You know what I'm saying?
Him and Lil Rel look busted.
But they look way better than the Wayans and White Chicks did. Because makeup technology and prosthetic technology has come a long way, and they got some money to spend.
Yeah.
So they look considerably more like white women, white chicks, if you will, than they do in White Chicks. Trust. And then Tiffany Haddish come in dressed like a white man and looks amazing, looking just like I'm saying, and
that part was really hilarious. She absolutely made every part that she was in. She fucking killed it.
Her improv skills are clearly just a cut above the rest. You know what I'm saying? Her ability to take a situation when she was fighting that was like, "Yes, your name Craig? Well, yeah, my name Craig. Well, here you go. Here's a picture of you right here with that motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? Craig is mad about it.
I like Craig's reaction. I forgot to mention that.
The funny thing about her is, I've read her book. I've seen several of her stand-ups. I've seen some of her shows and stuff. And her comedy, I do not like. But her as a person, damn, I like her. Like, whenever she's just talking, like when she's on Drunk History, one of my favorite episodes ever. Like, her is just talking, I can listen to it all day long. But when she try to tell a joke, I don't think it's funny.
I mean,
I don't think everything's funny. I'll put it that way.
When she tries to be genuine, I guess, when she doesn't try so hard, like that whole exchange with that cop, like, it's been so long since a man looked me in the eyes. If I felt that for her, like man, I would almost kissed her.
Almost.
Well, I mean, she does. She has the teardrop tattoo.
She literally has a bit of a mustache going. I'm just gonna be real with you, homie.
They spent money on her.
I bet he had to think about it for a little bit. He's like, should I kiss this woman? She really does seem like she needs it.
I'm married. He was like, they don't stop you.
On a side note, did you listen to her on Why Won't You Date Me, T?
No, I guess I have not. Go on.
Well, I won't spoil it then. No, shit, I might as well. She's dating Common now.
Yeah, I know that guy, and I know some people was mad about it because Common had some accusations made against him, and she came out swinging, and they was like, "What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be supporting women," and she was mad at her for supporting him. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
Oh, well, I didn't know about his accusations.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So,
with Jaguar, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. No comment.
Correct. Smartest technician to do that. So at the end, like I said, they doing this White Girls, and Tiffany Haddish walks to the stage, tells DJ to get off the stage, and the DJ does, and she plays DMX's Party Up. And again,
right,
how fitting and how nice, a perfect time to play Earl Simmons' classic hit. And they just start dancing and ground up against and messing around with these people who are so very uncomfortable. It was just the most hilarious thing. And it just, like I said, like Box said, it ends on such a high note that you kind of just forgive the things that were kind of like throughout the rest of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I very much enjoyed it when it's all said and done. It did, like I said, in fact, I'll drop this picture in the old. I'll drop it in Twitter so it won't fuck up the whatevers. But you can see how my how I had because I sat and watched while I was at work. How I had the iPad set up for a little bit watching this movie. I had to literally just listen to the movie for a little bit and just cover the screen because it's just how I could get through it. And so, but other than that, a genuinely delightful movie. I had a good time with it, and so thanks for putting that one on the deck. And is a lot of fun. Just as shocking and surprising as Unhinged in many cases. You know what I'm saying? When that car blew up, bruh. That also, again, like I said, so much heart in this movie. When that lady tried to help him out that toilet.
Oh yeah, how many people would have been like, "Fuck that"?
Exactly.
I would have been, "Fuck that."
I know, and it's just like I just like I said, whenever you saw that, you was like, okay, this world is not so awful anymore. When you saw some people who tried to lend a hand, help out as best they can. Like I said, that cool dude at the beginning who tried to say, hey man, can I get your number to get somebody? You know what I'm saying? That's a dope wingman. You know what I'm saying? So I just it's a lot to like there.
The alternative one where the clothes get sucked off at the on the credits, and the guy's just sitting there
covered his eyes like, oh my goodness. That was pretty hilarious. But you need that other take. You need that other guy because it just works better in the overall. You know what I'm saying? Eric Andre looking like every time he sees Maria, like, oh, you know what I'm saying, like all moonstruck and like something out of a standard rom-com. It's just also a delight. But what else do I have going on in this article? So they're going back and forth. Eric Andre, just a question and answer. So this is about Tiffany Haddish, and Tiffany Haddish. She may be the funniest person in America. She's just so good in this movie. And Eric Andre's response is, she is comedy. I just said that about her yesterday on Colbert. She is comedy on a cellular level. There's a reason she's a movie star. Every medium of comedy she does 110%. Stand-up, hidden camera pranks, comedic acting. I said on Colbert last night, she could be a synchronized swimmer in the Olympics and make it the most comedic experience you've witnessed. You know what I mean? She's a god. And the article goes, there are times when I was terrified of her, but I was still laughing. And he says, yeah, that's my cup of tea. Terror mixed with comedy. That's my favorite too. And then he responds, they would say, what's she like when the cameras aren't rolling? Is she still that funny? And he says, she's so funny. She's meant to be a comedian. She's like, I don't know. She has the perfect job for her. She just won a Grammy too. You know, she used to sleep in her car. The guy responds, wow. Yeah. So she deserves all the success she's getting. I'm very proud of her. So like I said, that is from those particular quotes are from this article on Looper, and I want to give you the guy who wrote. That's from David L. Leibovitz, and that's on, like I said, that's on Looper. And this other story is from USA Today about the movie, and that's from Brian Alexander. And like I said, he talked about that damn. He talked about that barbershop stunt. However, he promptly quit the production. He walked from the movie. We had to seduce him back, says Andre, but Harry was not only returned, he brought his Carmichael Show co-star Tiffany Haddish with him. Lured by the prospect of more out there pranks, she joined Bad Trip to play Bud's escapee sister in pursuit of the duo. So that's how we got them. It's just like Anthony had said.
Did you notice during the credits when they were showing like the bloopers and stuff, or like the alternate clips, since like they filmed multiple people getting pranked and just picked the best ones.
Yeah.
When they did the little thing with the action board,
the clapper,
the clapper. The name of the movie on the thing wasn't Bad Trip. It was like Lucky Trip or something like that.
Yeah. Huh. I dig.
Bad Trip's a better name.
Yeah, it's like I dig stories like that or things like that when you find out some movie used to have a different name, or sometimes a better name or an interesting name. Like
War.
Ghost Draft was a terrible name. Okay, Tomorrow War is not a great name, but Ghost Draft was awful. Because when you hear Ghost Draft, what do you think?
Bill Cosby.
That's Ghost Dad, but I hear you.
I mean, first thing I think of.
But like, the fact that for a little bit, or at least just behind the scenes, they called it Revenge of the Jedi before they called it Return of the Jedi is kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? And there's a few posters of Revenge of the Jedi, stuff that made it out before they was like, wait a minute, no, a Jedi wouldn't seek revenge. Let's change that name. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So I like when you find out things like that. And I like that they let those people kind of play with the clapper and shit, and they point out the cameras to them, and it's like, people are like, oh my God, because you can see how they feel relieved that they ain't just see some real fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, this is terrible. The people, the ladies who were cleaning up the museum afterwards, bruh, that actor, like I said, the lady, Maria, was so good when she was like, when she just started screaming on him and get the fuck out of here. I was like, yeah, that was good. I felt that shit. Like I was saying, so I was like, that shit is so real. But I like that those ladies were, of course, there to comfort her because women do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A fun movie, y'all. I'm gonna tell you that straight up and down. It's on Netflix. If you are better with prank shows and the like than I, sit down and watch it. I told Vanessa to watch. She said she's gonna probably watch it tomorrow while she at work. And
I almost, you know what? I almost suggested to you, like, watch the end credits and then watch the movie. Maybe you'll be less uncomfortable. But I'm like, I don't know if how that would have worked.
Same. But yeah, I dig it. I liked it. I liked it a great deal. Like I said, oftentimes I had to work a little hard to get through it. I started watching it yesterday. And then, like I said, I watched a little bit more earlier today, and I kept working on it, and I got through it, so I feel okay about that. But Anthony, man, will you tell us we have a new rating system? Please share that with us.
Oh yes.
Oh, so we can work on it together. Of course, since we're the Skim podcast, is this a movie we skim through, kind of watch, but don't watch the whole thing? Is it something you completely skip? Or is it something that's going to stay crunchy? Something that we like? Something that got some bite to it?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So would you guys give it a skim, a skip, or a stays crunchy?
In my opinion, it's certainly not a skip. And I think it's the way I had to watch it, the way I had to watch it. I don't think it's a skim either. Oh. So I mean, like I said, if we're gonna just keep it tight like that, I got to give it a stays crunchy because I feel it does.
Stays crunchy minus.
Okay.
Yeah, like I feel like
that.
Mentally for me, it's somewhere between skim and stays crunchy. So I'm just gonna round down and go to skim.
Fair enough.
You know what? Surprisingly, not surprisingly, I'm going to give it a skim. It was some good parts. It was also some very bad parts. And I like most of the prank stuff, but like all the stuff in the middle, the story was not strong.
No. And like I said, again, I feel like that's a part of, I feel like they Tyler Perry'd this more of a broad outline than an actual written situation. Yeah. And again, one of them is a strong improver, and that is Tiffany Haddish. And two of them are not. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just like they're just not as strong at improv as she was. And so her shit is hilarious and fun and interesting. And theirs is, I get it. That's funny. You got fucked by a gorilla.
And the fact that, probably Little Real probably wanted to quit the whole time. Yeah. It probably is like, yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna leave it at a skim. It is not terrible, but it's not for everybody. So I'm gonna give it a skim. So I guess the rating scale is skim, stays crunchy, or totally skip.
I like that scale.
So there you go. Not only did we watch again another movie, but we have a new scale and for reviewing movies, and I fuck with that a lot. Plus, it integrates the show's title. What you got better than that there? You know what I'm saying? How we get down.
I love
We bang stage crunchy in these streets hard as fuck, bro. I'm saying.
Did we all watch Coming to America?
I have not. I've not watched it yet.
I have not.
Anthony, you watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anthony and I have watched it.
If y'all want that to be the movie for next week's movie, I'll gladly go. I'll give it a watch over the weekend.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I feel like, again, I mean, like, it's on Amazon, so Gabe has access to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, like, I know we were kind of trashing it before the recording started, but, you know, we could give it a fair review.
Fair enough.
I just watched it the other night.
Yeah. Do you ever watch the first one?
Yeah, I saw it, like, way back in the day, though.
Oh, okay. So, make sure.
Like, I watched the first one afterwards, and it made me feel sad. Like, damn, man.
Wow.
Well, besides that, Ant-Man, what's been popping with you this week?
Nothing really. I'm surprised. Like, this week has really gone by fast. Like, I've been working some long hours, sitting here in front of this dang computer watching Kitchen Crashers. So I really don't have much to talk about.
Sorry.
Yeah. No news is good news.
Fair enough. We bob over to my man, young Daniel, looking all flying and relaxed because he's saying he finally hit the barber. Not finally, that sounds disrespectful, but he got a chance to get to the barber and got everything all trimmed and tight. But beyond just that, how was your week? What's been popping with you?
I went to that wedding last Saturday.
Yeah. What's up with that?
And then I got a migraine during the ceremony, so I came home and skipped the reception.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was actually when I watched Coming to America. I came home, took some Excedrin, couldn't really get out of bed, and then I watched that and I watched something else, but now I can't remember what the fuck it was. I know I put like 2 of the Marvel movies on because like they had like Captain America and Avengers on Prime.
Yeah.
Because I don't have Disney Plus in my bedroom. It's only logged in the living room TV, and it's my buddy's account, and I don't have the login, so I can't log into the bedroom. So I was forced to watch whatever was like available to me, and Netflix doesn't have like all the Marvel movies anymore. So I was stuck with those 2, but I put those on because it was something I could listen to. Since at that time I couldn't really like look at anything. My vision was kind of fucked up and shit. But eventually I woke up and I watched Coming to America, and then I feel like I watched something else, but honestly I'm drawing a blank, and it must not have been that like life changing. But I got a hand massager, one of those like electronic ones with like the attachments and stuff. Mm-hmm. I got that yesterday, and I used it last night, and I used it today. And
a clit stimulator?
It kind of is like that. So it's like a handheld gun, and you can put different tips on the end. Mm-hmm. It's got like the little ball, the plate, like the pointy one. Like it's got like 6 different attachments in it or something, mm-hmm. And it's like for massaging out your muscles and stuff. So like I took a shower like an hour before the podcast tonight, and when I was got out of the shower, like I went in my room and I was like using it to like massage out my hips.
Yeah.
And I put it on one part of my left hip, like, and I was using like the pointy one, and I found a spot that like when I started jamming it, like because I had it on full blast, so it was like when I hit that point, it made me like almost want to cry because it was like so good. Like it hurt, but then like within a couple seconds, it went from hurting to like that feeling of like, oh my god, this feels so good. It's only been 2 days, but so far I highly recommend the purchase for those of you who are considering it. I got lucky because like Amazon has like so many listings of those things. And I put one in my cart the other day, but like I figured like I would come back to it later. I mean, in my wish list. And then thanks to targeted advertising, I was on a website and Amazon put one of those like clickable banners in it where it was like, we think you might want to see this. So it was like $10 cheaper than the one I had in my wish list. And it was on sale for like $11 less than that. So I was like, well, shit, let me look at this. So I clicked on it because I just had a conversation with my buddy about how he bought one and how he got his like a busted up box sale at like TJ Maxx for like $40. Mm-hmm. And he was like swearing by it. And I'd always kind of like wanted one, but I didn't want to pay the high price. So he's like, if you can find one for like anything less than like 120, do it. So I found that one. It was like initially 110. Amazon had it on sale for $99. Then it had a $20 off coupon in addition to that. Like it was like one of those like click here for like a coupon for $20 off. Like you didn't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
Then I also had $3 in Amazon credit. So it dropped it from 110 down to 76. So I was like, well, shit, at this point, like I have to pull the trigger, you know, because it had like over like 2,600 reviews and it was like high star rating and shit. So I was like, all right, this has got to be solid. So 2 days in, and so far, like
Theragun or something like that.
I don't know the technical name.
Okay.
But I am liking it so far. Like I'll give like a further review in a couple weeks as I use it more. But like I definitely put it like I don't want this to sound weird, but I didn't put it in my butthole. Okay, but like I had it like I had it in the cheek area, like underneath, because like when you sit in the office chair all day, your hamstrings get tight from sitting in that area, in that like that way with that bent lower back and shit. So like a lot of times when you get lower back pain from like office work, it's not that your back is actually hurting, it's your hamstrings are pulling. So if you can release your hamstrings, it'll ease the lower back pain. So I had jammed the gun thing into like my lower butt hamstring area, and it was going so fast that it was like making my butt jiggle. And like it was like making the whole area kind of like get weird and shit. It was like it was real close to like I need to move this gun away from this area.
Like, is this? I don't know. Nicole Byer was just talking about recently on one of her episodes of Why Won't You Date Me, that she has turned to using that as her masturbatory device in these terrible COVID times. So
yes,
what the fuck?
You wouldn't be alone.
Yeah,
she's going beyond the Hitachi wand to the Theragun.
Yeah.
Oh, Hitachi wand, man! That's a name I haven't heard in quite some time.
Name I hadn't heard.
I think it on Mayfield and Green, which my kid's doctor's on Green Road. There's a restaurant called Hibachi One, and I think about that every time I go there, and I laugh to myself.
Oh hell no!
Hitachi One.
Yeah, like my buddy came over at my house yesterday, and he and I put my workout bench together and the squat rack I bought. So all that shit that's been sitting in boxes for months is finally assembled. But by the time we finished up, it was 1:00 in the morning. So I got to bed really late last night, and I still need to finish up the area because like I got to put the floor mat down, and I got to move like a couple things out of that area, and I think like the next couple days, I'm basically just going to be cleaning the house because I got a lot of boxes around here. Like all my stuff from the office came. So the other day, and I got like 4 boxes in the mail. So I have 4 boxes of shit I got to go through, which is most of it's probably just trash. It's like I don't need like office papers and stuff. And they really like legitimately sent like everything. It's like one of the guys in the office I saw like got like his bottle of water, like his Dasani that he was drinking last year.
Oh wow!
They boxed up and sent to him. I got Flonase yesterday that I haven't tried yet, but gonna try and step up my allergy medicine.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can join the world of the breathing again.
I just read I'm gonna go with probably a tweet. Now that I think about it, if I delve into it, but it was a tweet that you know, like a tweet, whatever thread, explaining how years ago the person who ran the agriculture department recommended that cities, when they planted city trees, that they plant male trees as opposed to female trees, so it wouldn't be so many seeds around. You know what I'm saying, or you know, seed pods or acorns or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that. The problem with that is male trees is just nutting pollen all the goddamn time. And that, of course, leads to what was once, you know what I'm saying, the allergy rate in this country was like, 2 to 5%, and it's now something like 70% because it's all these male trees around us. Just like most cities have a male to female ratio of like 98% to 2, you know what I'm saying? It's just dudely trees out here skeeting on all of us, causing us to have allergies.
It's goddamn sausage fest out here in these forests.
Yeah, it took it right out of my words, right out of my a tree sausage fest.
Yeah, so I was like, one, I just thought that was wild, but I was like but also, I thought it'd be interesting to share with y'all how
petrified wood as far as the eye can see.
But what it comes down to from all you've said is basically you are preparing and getting on it. You're trying to make, you know what I'm saying, you trying to make Fat Boy Summer a thing, and I'm fuck with it. I'm all about that life, you know what I'm saying? We trying to get better, trying to do better by yourself and get yourself right, and I fuck with that, man. So put some respect on it.
Takes a village, really.
Truly it does, man. Truly it does. Gabriel, man, what's been popping with you in your world?
Oh, I've come to a revelation. I know what I want out of life a little bit more. I want to travel this country. And I think I need to find something that accommodates that kind of lifestyle. Like, hey, I love Cleveland, but it's the only thing I've known, and I think I need to go see the country.
Yeah.
And I think I need to sell off this house. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to sell off this house, get a fifth wheel RV, and just go see the land.
Yeah.
That is America.
I wouldn't sell the house. That's just base. We make that home base. You know what I'm saying? But I hear you.
Well, how else do you pull it off, though?
Rent? Rent the house out?
I thought about it. It's a possibility. Me and wife just really we're giddy about the idea, and we gotta really sit down and talk logistics.
I mean, you got your brother still here that you trusted that can make sure that that you get your money.
Yeah.
But I hear you. Yeah. So, but I like that.
Talking about all the places we could see, like the Pacific Northwest, like a place I'd like to see. I wouldn't necessarily live because the weather sucks, but I'd like to see it.
A falsehood.
Cali.
Pacific Northwest has this thing that they call it like London, like it's always raining and stuff up there, and it's just not. Don't fall for that shit. So Pacific Northwest, way doper than you give it credit. Though,
I hear it's mountainous, but foresty mountainous, so it's really pretty.
You do have to worry about volcanoes. It just is what it is. Once you get up that way, it's a problem.
I don't, because I'm gonna get when that volcano starts erupting, I'm gonna get in the car and drive off.
A fair point. I love that you have arrived here. You know what I'm saying? I like that a bell has rang in your head that says there's more to life than this. And I fuck with you about it. I've been trying to get you to go on trips, you know what I'm saying? I just want to go places with you because you're my dude, you know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to be like, oh, dude, just jump in the ride, let's go. And I realize this means, you know what I'm saying, that'll probably be less likely because you'll be just riding already with your family. But if every now and again we can link up and hit the road.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be real fly, man. So, I mean, if you can make it happen, bro, if you can make, and I don't see why you can't make it happen. I feel like there's ways to make this pop.
It could. And it'd make the podcast more interesting. I'd have more stories than I can't talk about work, so let's never talk about work. And today my kid stepped in poop or something like that. Come on, man. I could be working remotely, and then when I get done from work, open up the door, and I'm in fucking Yellowstone. I'm in the Grand Canyon. I'm like, whatever, I'm excited about the idea.
Yeah.
Can you work remotely?
I could figure it out. We'd have less expenses.
Could you figure it out? I know how you are with technology, but she can figure it out for you.
We can figure it out. We there's got to be a way.
No
people
doubt.
Do it.
I don't doubt. Yes, you are correct. There are people who do it. My friend AK every summer goes up to Michigan to a campground and has a good time and a friend of a friend of hers is this is a guy who drives an RV. That's what he does. Goes around the country driving RVs, stopping them here and there, doing some odd jobs and keeping the motherfucker moving. That's his existence. I expect you could do better with your degree.
Yeah.
So
I need the internet though. We're still going to do the podcast because.
No, I would hope, but
yeah.
Well, Gabe and I were talking about this before we started recording the show tonight, and I told him like a lot of the jobs in America, like the office type jobs, are moving to work from home. Like right now, we at our job have a bunch of work from home positions listed. I was just looking at them yesterday, and I was listening to an interview from Kevin O'Leary, one of the guys from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful or whatever. He was in an interview on this YouTube channel I watched yesterday. And he was talking about how, like, even his business, one, he's moved a lot of his commercial real estate, and he's sold it, and he's changed it to residential real estate because a lot of people work from home. But then even his own office, like for his company, he's decided to close his office and let all of his employees work from home because COVID proved that a lot of businesses don't need people in an office setting. They perform just as well, if not better, from home offices. Yeah. And he said he like polled his employees and they all preferred to move to work from home. It made them happier. And like, I know like a couple of my buddies, their companies have now made them permanently work from home. Obviously we're working from home permanently now. It's becoming a widespread, more accepted thing. Yeah. So, you know, like if you needed to find a different career choice to make you happier, like the possibilities are growing out there now. Like my one buddy's moving to Dallas on the end of this month, and he's been working remotely at a new job that he got in Dallas. He's been here in Cleveland this entire time, but he's been working remotely for that job in Dallas since the beginning of January.
I like a true remote job, like not like my job. Even when we were working from home, they're like, be expected to be called back in the office anytime. Yeah. Or like at the drop of a hat, you need to get your ass in here. Like a true remote job that would say, you know, hey, if you want to travel the country, if you want to work from wherever, that's fine. And one I could just like not think about when I'm done for the day. I don't know.
I get you, man. I'm saying sometimes.
I like my job. I like my current job. Okay. I like the people I work with. I like my team. There's lots of things to like about it, but it's here. Yeah. And maybe I don't want to be anymore.
That's what's up, man. Go see the world, man.
The world is like so full of possibilities, and like technology now and circumstances have made them more accessible than ever. To stay in one place when you're like, you know, it's not what you want, just because like back in the day you would feel like, well, what else can I do? I'm already in this position. You know, like, houses are fucking easy to sell right now. The housing market is empty. People want to buy houses and there are none for sale. Mm-hmm. Like you could sell a house like in days, like same day in a lot of cases.
Yeah, at full price, oftentimes with cash. People is coming through.
And usually there's a bidding war, so you can get over asking price too. And housing values are way up. Like my house is up $55,000 in value in the last 4 years. Like it went up $4,500 in the last month alone. If you were like worried about being able to sell a house, if that was ever a concern, like you could easily sell that house, no problem. And like RVs, like are a fraction of the cost of a house. And at that point, you would literally just have to figure out your working situation. And, actually buy an RV and make sure that it was accommodating enough for you and your family and could, you have a plan, like know where like you could stay. Like, I'm sure there's like temporary campgrounds, like squatting, like, what's the term? Like boondocking stuff. Like, you could like maybe find a property to boondock on for a couple of days. Like shit like that. You have to figure that kind of stuff out. But it's like, it's not a deterrent. It's not a deterrent, It's just an obstacle.
And I'm certain if you went and started the research, and I'm sure the research probably will start tomorrow, as the way it's going.
It started already.
You'll find sources that can say this works well. This is where like the best 5G is at. You know what I'm saying, for your internet connectivity and so forth and so on. And I feel like there's enough people who probably already have done this that there's ground laid there.
Yeah, like I was telling him, like I watch a bunch of YouTube channels of people that do shit like this. Like, and there's like, I know like the one channel I was watching, the lady has an app that would tell her where she could park her car overnight.
You told us
like,
about that before, yeah.
Yeah, it's like these things all exist. Like technology has made them easier, you know? Like, it's just, you have to be willing to do it. Like, the one channel that I watched that I told Anthony to start watching, I don't mean like ordered, but like, it falls on the same line of like, Anthony and I, we talk about like these fixer-up homes all the time and stuff. And this one channel I watch, it's this married couple that used to have a house in Florida, and they talked about wanting to have their own property where it was like off the grid. So what they did was they bought 2 shipping containers and they turned them into a house. Like, and they've been making the house themselves. I think they're like 3 or 4 years in now. Like the episode I just watched yesterday, they literally just installed the last piece of drywall in the home. And it's like they use rainwater. They're on solar power. Like it's people are doing, like, they just decided one day, like, if we're not going to do this now, when? So they just made the plunge, you know, like they're like, that was their dream as a couple, and they decided to take the chance and they made it happen. Yes. Now, granted, they have the backing of like over 1 million subscribers, so YouTube channel income helps. But still, they had to make that decision to sell that home and go build this. Like they're everything that they like they had to outsource like the septic system and shit. But everything else, literally, it's the husband and the wife that are doing all the work. Like they're all the drywall, all the like the painting, all like installing everything. Like they literally, in every episode is just them documenting their journey in making this fucking home from scratch. And now they have like a kid, like they had a kid like a while back, so they have like a little like 1-year-old running around, and she's pregnant again, so they're about to have a second kid. So it's like they're struggling. Like it's not I don't want to say struggling, but it's the documentary of like this family chasing their dream while building their family up as they go.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes yesterday when you reminded me, and I found it super interesting because I'm not going to say living off the grid has been a dream of mine, but it's something I thought about. But the fact that I wouldn't have a real flushing toilet, I would never do
it. I hate composting toilets, but I might be willing to do that for a year.
Not even
you just want to do it for a year, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Say, bro. Now, see, I'm thinking you trying to make this a life. Go take a year, bro.
We're just talking about just a year, yeah.
Yeah. Go do this shit tomorrow. I mean, I know you can't do it tomorrow, but if you...
But as close tomorrow as possible.
That was why, like, if you're only planning on doing it for a year in the beginning, my recommendation to you was rent the house, not sell it, in case, like, you decide you want to come back and actually have a home and not have to go through the home buying process again. Because you could easily rent the house out and get more than your mortgage payment is, I assume.
I bet it could.
Yeah. Well,
it's just good to have fallbacks.
For sure. Assuredly. And it's good.
But how the hell would we maintain it while they're like, oh, something broke, and I'm in Arizona, motherfucker. What do you want me to do?
We live in a time
you hire someone.
They have companies that come out to do maintenance work. It's the best shit in the world. You'd have to have a maintenance company, and it's not like you pay them like all the time. You have them on retainer.
Yeah, like they literally like. Well, like you could have a property management company
that's what I mean.
that would even collect the payment for you if you need it, and like you'd only. I think they have a fee. It's like depending on the company, like 10% or something.
It's like,
and then like if something breaks, they would get called, and not you. Or even if you got called, you could call them and be like, "Hey, go handle this."
Shit, Airbnb that motherfucker. I doubt that's probably not smart, and it's not a constant income. But shit, if you can make your house to an Airbnb, you know what I'm saying, just like people come through, like. Here's what's here, but also like I said, that's the only thing I'm just saying. Having a base for you to come return to eventually would be nice, but hey,
I mean, even if like after a year from now, say like you guys decide either you wanted to continue to live in that lifestyle or you wanted to move somewhere else permanently. At that point, you could always sell the house or continue to rent it. Like it's just an asset that you have at that point, you know, and like. Assets are very important to have in this life.
All right. Thank you for sharing that, bro. You probably just piqued a lot of people's interest, but also I'm proud of you, man. I know how tough that is. How tough that is to come through that for you. I know how your brain works, and so that's kind of a big deal to me that you've stepped to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's something I've wanted to do for a while. I talked about doing it after high school. Like, yeah, I was gonna take a year and travel. Like, my mom was like, no.
Yeah.
And I listened to her when I shouldn't have.
Well, no, just wasn't your time yet. But now it is your time, and your kids can see the country. You can see the country that you haven't seen yet. You know what I'm saying? And you can come back and complain about how bad traffic is in in Southern California, because it really is. Although COVID traffic apparently is kind of way breezier, but that won't be there for much longer. But yeah, man, you go see the fucking nation. Try to tick off all. Hell, you probably do 49 of the 50. You can drive up to Alaska.
Yeah.
And the fact that your wife is on board with the idea, like, that says a lot, because I feel like you guys don't agree on those kind of decisions very often.
Nah, she been wanting to farm. She been wanting to go.
Yeah.
There's a difference though between a farm and a mobile home.
I think she's done with Cleveland. And I'm like, well, what I like for the longest time I didn't know what I wanted. And it's just like I don't know what sparked this in me, and I'm like, I want to go.
So, like, this similar conversation is the kind of conversation I've been having with my buddy for, like, the last year. And it's funny, because he'll hear this. Like, he listens to the show. And it's, like, it's the same thing I told him. Like, you might not know exactly what you want going forward in the future, but you do know that right now you're not happy where you are. So the only way to kind of figure out where you need to be is to make a move of some sort. And if the move that you make ends up not being the one you want, you can always make another move. But if you just continue to stay where you are being unhappy, you're just going to always just be unhappy.
Go ahead and preach, Rever. Let them know. Where do you go, folk?
As long as the PlayStation can come.
that's kind of fly. I got my second COVID shot last week. I'm quite happy to have successfully done that. I will be considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks out from that date, and so I'm almost at the first week and one more to go. Technically, through research, it says that I am already pretty much 100% guaranteed to not get COVID. That first shot is pretty powerful. I did not suffer any ill side effects. I had some slight like wooziness every now and again, but I was like, that could be any number of things. And I did catch a single back pain. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I don't know, that could have just been nerves or it could have been the COVID shot. But other than the standard arm pain, the second shot was even easier than the first shot, because I literally walked in there, and the way the cart was coming to give the shots out, it was coming right to the chair they told me to go sit in. They had given me my shot before they had even signed me all the way in, because the guy signing people in of his iPad had messed up. So real easygoing experience. People, like I said, in our general area, whilst the female vaccination site is still open, take advantage. They are not going to be able to go do the Johnson & Johnson shots, but they are going to go. They're going to switch over from, if need be, it's going to switch from the Pfizer shot to the Moderna shot, and so that's pretty dope that they still managed to do that. Like I said, and I'm just happy. I was super proud to have done that, and to have done my little part. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that means end of the month I get to go see Scott Pilgrim. So
you earned it.
Yeah, that is the hope. You know what I'm saying? So just go to IKEA or something like that. And just like I said, in general, I'm another thing as I bounce back to Gabe's story. What kind of makes me is a year of just sitting your ass in place. Kind of opens your eyes to be like, I don't like sitting in place. Your brain is like, this has kind of been bullshit. You know what I'm saying? When y'all went to go to the horse farm for your one kid's birthday, right? Yeah.
The littlest.
Yeah. I felt like that. You got a taste of it. Like, oh shit, freedom. I like this a lot. And then, you know what I'm saying? It just keeps pushing along, you know what I'm saying? And I fuck with it, bro. You know me, like I said, I drive all over this country. I love it. I've seen a good chunk of it and would certainly love to see more. So you being out there in the world, it's just that much doper because I'm like, all right, Gabe is here right now. Let's go see him. You know what I'm saying? So I was talking to your sister the other day and, as she plans her move, and I was unhappy with the state she's moving to, but what are you going to do? And
But Bella Bruja is on the move.
She is.
Yeah, and she's moving to a state that is on the list of states. I say
by the time she gets there,
is it Texas? Is it Texas?
No, fuck no. Texas is like Texas is a band in a way that I'm just like, whereas this state is a state where we could potentially work it just because we got office there. So
I might go see Houston.
God, why?
Stay away from there during hurricane season.
Oh, okay.
Why Houston as opposed to
the rest? Austin's the liberal one. Never mind.
Austin's the cool one.
Oh, she's got family that might be moving to Houston. That's why.
Why?
Yeah,
God.
I like Dallas.
yeah. I want to go to Austin super bad. Like I had a whole itinerary printed out for me to go there.
I think you and I should go to Waco so we can meet the Magnolia family.
Oh, I thought you wanted to see the ATF.
Oh,
Just like Waco, I'm gonna take 4.
no, we wanted to see the racially ambiguous people from HGTV.
Well, I fuck with it, and bruh, just as soon as possible. I got an email the other day from the place I stayed when I went to Maine, because they finally are like, "Hey man, trying to come kick it." I'm like, man, actually, I would love to go back to Maine. To the coastal Maine is dope. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let a nigga know. Whenever y'all trying to get down, we all ready to go again. Y'all tell me, man, when we will.
Didn't you drive there?
Yeah, I drove to. That's where I drove to Maine. Yeah.
I drove to Maine too.
Yeah. So
for a wedding.
yeah, and
What we need to do is find a place and rent a house for a week and just work from the house.
bruh, like I said, we can work it out. We can make some shit happen. So
Like send your kids to their grandmothers for a week and be free.
They can just stay home with their mother.
that'd be dope, bro. We probably we crush it. We would absolutely crush it, man. We just fucking work all day.
I wouldn't. If we took it, I wouldn't work. Like
you just want to take the time
I'll
just go
take
see these
the
places and
time.
stuff.
I would be up at 7:00, finding the nearest donut place, and yeah.
Bruh, I'm telling you already, Rockland, Maine is lovely. You can hop the boat and go across to the islands of Maine if you want to. Hop the ferry, which is also kind of dope to go out to into the Pacific Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean, and just like it's just.
All I know is I want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I've been trapped in this house for over a year now. Yeah, I've left a couple times, but like,
it's not what we do normally. We've been very good about getting the fuck out of Dodge with a bit of regularity. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Me and Boxman have traveled together for years now. We regularly just go on trips together. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude. And I'm with y'all, man. It's having been contained for a whole year. You fucking took a whole year of my goddamn life from me. Oh, it irks me to no end, man.
it's part of why I'm like trying to get my shit back together.
Yeah.
To get this COVID weight off, because like if I want to take trips, I don't want to be like grossly out of shape and shit. Like, yeah, I'd rather be able to enjoy it, like I was on track for.
I would like to be able to fit in an airplane seat. You are correct.
That was also a thought of mine.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So
I don't want to do another 17-hour drive home from Dallas. Like, I think I might want to fly next time.
Christ.
Although I might want to drive. I don't know. Depend on what's going on with the weather. Because the weather is changing. And it might be like a blizzard, next year in April.
Yeah, it's real. That was nice, y'all. Thank y'all for that little bit.
I just feel like if I don't do it, I'll always feel like an asshole.
Yeah, don't go out like that. But
No,
speaking of
that's a free
assholes,
transition.
Yeah, I'm about to
thank
say,
you.
don't put that kind of pressure on yourself because
no. He was just throwing up that oop to me, man. And I shall catch it, and we shall go over to Reddit and talk that shit. Each week,
don't feel like an asshole, Gabe.
we gather stories from the subreddit. Am I the asshole? We go through them as a unit and decide which, if any, are worth our while. I was trying to duck and dodge some of the more family ones because there's always some family ones because that's just what Am I the Asshole really is. But there's some. I think I pulled a decent selection. You guys will let me know.
All right.
And let us begin. Am I the asshole for threatening to kick out my sister-in-law after she became vegan?
Okay.
The first one.
The
The first one is almost always going to be the one you're going to get. Am I the asshole for telling my mom she could hold her grandchild at my funeral?
Oh.
You have to know what's going on with that one. Like I said, I just read the first paragraph of that one. I was like, oh. Am I the asshole for not getting to know my nephew and niece and not wanting to bring them into my home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing that right now. Am I the asshole for not having met my nephew and he's going to be 2 in like a month?
Am I the asshole for no longer following my employer, a popular YouTube creator, on Patreon?
No.
Am I the asshole for telling my grandparents that they need to get... I'm sorry. It made me laugh when I got to that word. Am I the asshole for telling my grandparents they need to fuck off and stop asking me when they're getting great-grandchildren? Am I the asshole for refusing to attend church with my roommates? And there you go. That's our selection for the week. Again, you're gonna
the child at the funeral one.
Oh man,
I think for sure.
And of course the vegan one. The child at the funeral one is a banger.
I like the ones that like leave me wondering why they would go to such extremes.
That's why I pull them.
Because sometimes the titles, I feel like I know the answer just by hearing the sentence. Yeah. Like, no, you're not an asshole for not going to church with your roommates. Fuck them.
This one has apparently a few edits in it afterwards. So here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my mom she could hold her grandchild at my funeral? So I, 28 female, cannot have kids without death or serious injury and passionately do not want them. Nor does my husband. And no, before anyone assumes we're kid-hating monsters, we don't dislike kids. We have a combined total of 8 nieces and nephews, all of whom we love dearly. They just can't live in our house. My mother, bless her heart, is currently infected with baby rabies. Her friends keep getting grandkids, and they keep and the best I'm willing to do is dogs. Yesterday, I was talking on the phone with my mom, and she casually brings up how nice it would be to have a baby around. Now, I have a policy for people trying to pry about my reproductive affairs, and that policy is to make them as unfreaking comfortable as I can so they never ask again. My mom has never been on the receiving end, but she has seen me do it. The first time I'm like, nah, too much work. And they don't even get cute for like 3 years. Puppies are born cute and stay cute. But she kept pressing, saying things like dogs won't love you like kids do. And here's where I may be the asshole. I snapped and said, well, if you want a baby that bad, you can make sure to put it in my wait a minute. I can make sure to put it in my will that you can hold it through my funeral. My mom just made a noise like a mouse being stepped on and hung up on me. She's now refusing to answer any of my text messages about anything. I might have overreacted just a little. And she is my mom. So, am I the asshole? Let me have some edits here. Edit. Yes, my mom knows about the health conditions. I was born with them, and they've worsened over time. 2, I'm very transparent about not being able to have, not wanting kids, but I do love the kids in my life. And let's see. Oh, maybe this was the first edit and the other ones are a couple of edits. So, a couple of things here. 1, thank you all so much for the awards and kind feedback. I really appreciate it. I did not expect things to blow up like it did. 2, my mom did message me back and apologize. She'd also like us to come around 12 to tidy up the yard, and she's going to pay us with lunch and beer. So, I mean, that kind of worked itself out. Is she an asshole? No. Her mom's an asshole.
Really.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only reason I would say her mom is not quite an asshole. Well, yeah,
her mama knows she got a fucking disorder of some sort that could literally kill her if she reproduced.
Yes.
Yeah, they could adopt though.
Surely, but clearly she doesn't want to.
I feel like sometimes people want stuff, see things for you, and sometimes they're blinded by that. Like, people who love you know if you had this in your life, or they feel like if you had this in your life, that you would be happier. And sometimes, like, especially people who love you are blinded by that.
Yeah.
Well, let's read some of the comments. This is these are people commenting to the OP, and the OP has responded to them. Not the asshole. You tried handling with tech. Your mother pursued the topic, and you told her exactly what would happen should you decide to have children. You would die. I don't see what she has to complain about when there are 8 other children running around. Why does she need a baby from you? The OP responds, I'm her only biological kid. She won't feel like a grandma till I pop one out, apparently.
Oh, that's
the person who, like I said, who's having this response. Wow, that's very cold. Do your siblings know the stance their mother has taken regarding biological grandchildren? The OP responds, no, my mom dotes on my siblings' kids. She adores them, really. Part of the 8 total are on my husband's side. I have 2 half siblings. I didn't meet until I was 23, and they have kids. And the person responds, I'm concerned that she won't feel like a grandma until you have one. What does that say about the other kids? I'm not trying to walk down this path. Jesus Christ, dude. She explained herself. Shut the fuck up. Let me scroll down a little further, see if I see anything else worth our while.
The story's making me think of Scarface.
The woman's so polluted.
It's so polluted.
I can't even put a little baby.
Yeah, like I
polluted.
Yeah, like some of the stuff that can happen to women. Like I've heard of like a couple different cases where it's like I didn't know that the baby like can grow outside of the uterus, and as it grows, it just kill the.
Yeah, I just so one of the ladies and a couple of the ladies actually in the video game space this week announced that they are both pregnant and due within a month of each other. And the one lady had explained how her soon-to-be born child is her rainbow baby, which is a term I hadn't heard before. I didn't know the term rainbow baby. Rainbow baby apparently is the child that was born after having suffered a miscarriage or multiple miscarriages in her case. And then I was talking to Vanessa about her, and she goes, "Oh, that's probably where rainbows babies in children's hospitals come from." And I go, "Oh shit! I never even knew that." But also, I didn't know that I myself have a rainbow baby. My youngest child is my rainbow baby because we suffered a miscarriage before they were born, and I didn't know that. And I got a 13-year-old rainbow baby, and they're pretty dope. And I like that idea. I like the idea that they're so, you know what I'm saying, that they have a little title. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of dope, man. Pregnancy is difficult, man.
Great for sex,
and it's wild that how difficult it is, and that people are just like, "Don't you want to make some?" It's like, bro, it's not that easy.
Yeah,
and I know it seems that easy because people just be, some people do just like, there you go, skeet and babies, but it's not that way for everybody. You know what I'm saying? My second child, and another reason being that we were supposed to be unable to make children the traditional route. Like I said, Xander is a test tube baby, literally. You know what I'm saying? And that you know what I'm saying? I basically had to go. We had to go drop the boys off at the door via a pipette. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we were told. That's how we were to produce children. And so
that's real cool that your sperm took an Uber.
That's exactly what it was.
There's your show title.
So and I'm just, like I said, I'm just a dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going through the process and not growing a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a child in me. So
man,
I mean, how often are these doctors wrong about this? Like, me and my wife weren't supposed to have babies. I had to get things cut to make it stop happening.
I mean, I don't know, because as we have over time discovered, doctors are often taught in ways that have fucked them up. Doctors are taught to this day, like right now, and you can go get a medical book and you'll find out that black people are don't feel as much pain, and therefore don't need as much pain
medicine.
Medicine.
And that's why like they don't give us opioids, and why we're not addicted.
Taught to them. Yeah, right now the opioid situation in this country, crisis in this country, has not affected black people at the rate it has affected everyone else, because doctors won't give us pain pills because they think we're drug seekers and that we don't need them because we are somehow able to absorb more pain.
So I think it was at the end of 2019.
It's Method Man's fault.
He bring the pain.
He told him to bring the pain.
I had a severe sinus infection, and come to find out, like, I should have been prescribed some kind of pain medicine for it. I was only given
the antibiotics
for it. Like, not that I would have abused it, but like according to proper medicine, I should have been given something for the pain too, which I was never given. And I complained about it at the hospital, and they were like, "Well, we can give you some Advil now." I was like, "I'm leaving very shortly. I'm leaving the hospital. Why would you offer it to me now?"
Yeah, it's nonsense. And so again, so the possibility of doctors being wrong, yes, but it's also probably that they've been taught wrong. Mm-hmm. And so it takes a lot more than just that, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully, there does seem to be a lot of discussion about that as of late. I just saw an article the other day about how the Journal for American Medical Association probably has pushed that. I guess somebody did a podcast that they have scrubbed from their site about basically pain management and so forth, and about how black people don't feel less pain, and motherfuckers had a fit about it.
Oh yeah.
And Jama tried to scrub it, and everybody and their mama knows about it. It doesn't make good podcast fodder, so I didn't think I'd bring it up on the show, but here we are talking about it, so who knew?
Or about black women having fibroids, and they don't they don't have enough information on it because they don't care to know about them, because it's something that mostly only black women go through. So Waka Waka, what's the next one we're gonna do?
Emma the asshole for threatening to kick out my sister-in-law after she became a vegan. What's fun about this one is, well, we'll wait there. I know the title sounds bad, but hear me out. I, 32 female, am currently divorcing my soon-to-be ex-husband, 38 male. Even though we're not together anymore, I'm still very close to his sister, 27 female. Let's call her A. A lost her job during the pandemic and couldn't pay rent anymore, so I let her move in since I have a pretty big house that's mostly unused since my husband moved out. I don't want any money for it, but since she's staying at home 24/7, I'm working a 50-hour job, we made an agreement that she makes food for us too. It all worked perfectly until 2 days ago, and she said she wants to go vegan and won't cook meat anymore. Now hear me out. I regularly have to lift heavy objects at my job, so I need the meat to stay in shape. Also, this is my house, and I don't want to be forced into a diet I don't want. I started shouting at her and said she can pack her things and get the fuck out if she doesn't change her mind. She started crying and calling me a psycho. Yesterday, her parents called me and told me I was too harsh with her, and I'm the asshole. I even got an angry text message from my husband about how evil I am and blah, blah. However, I think I'm right. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, I'm going to say, not because, I have a vegan history and I, I'm all sensitive about this, but, there's so many more approaches she could have taken to that. Then she doesn't have to be the designated cooker anymore.
Yeah, good
and
Lord.
Also screaming at her? Really, though?
I'm going to say she is tired from all this work she has done. So them 50-hour weeks is a bitch. So
get some beans, bitch. No. I was trying to avoid using that word. But...
she a bitch, and I'm going to call a bitch a bitch. And that's just what it is. I realize you're working to be better about that. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not a bitch vegan.
There's your alternative title.
No, you said something before that. It was my alternative title, and because I couldn't type it fast enough, I forgot it. But I'm gonna go back and get it when I'm editing the show. Worry not.
All right.
Let's see what we got going on. I don't know. The sister-in-law is staying with the OP rent-free, and cooking the meals was the one stipulation when she moved in. It may not be hard to throw some meat in the oven, but it takes more than that to make it actually taste good. And it's also making more dishes a mess, which I'm assuming OP has to clean up. A protein shake or some eggs is not a substitute for a real meal. And OP cooking her own protein for dinner was not in the agreement. The
Eggs also not vegan.
The OP asked sister-in-law to do one thing in exchange for free rent. Sister-in-law is now going back on the deal, so she's getting free room and board, living 100% free of charge. The OP's reaction was really harsh, and perhaps a conversation could have been had. So I'm going to go with everyone sucks here, is what this person has decided.
I don't. The person wants to go vegan, and it's like, why does that make her an asshole?
Because they violated the terms of the agreement. For the record, Reddit thinks this person is an asshole. Got the old red badge at the top there. I think she is being an asshole for yelling at this person. It's unnecessary. Mm-hmm. And talking about you can get the fuck out over this particular matter. But
it seems like a bit of an overreaction.
It is an overreaction. But again, I feel like this person is working 50-hour weeks and is probably tired as shit and was more reactionary than she meant to be.
I agree with the last comment. For the one thing we agreed on, I don't want to go vegan. Because
surely.
I do kind of feel bad because like the way I eat, like I don't eat beef and stuff like that. So I occasionally try to bring some beef and stuff in. Mm-hmm. So I know how it can be when like you don't eat that kind of stuff, and then she was cooking all your meals, and it's like, now it's just carrots and satay now. That's going to suck.
I think, like, for a while, those of us that eat beef, I'm not talking about us on the show, I'm talking about people in general, we're probably going to need to adopt more veggies in our diet since there's a beef shortage now.
No, there is.
Yeah, the price of beef is skyrocketing. There's a beef shortage. Like, cattle quantities are down all across the country. And so that's part of why a lot of these restaurants are trying to get their chicken sandwiches out. Oh. Because chicken is more abundant and easier to cultivate because it requires less materials like water, like resources and stuff. So it's funny because I'm basically copying this from Mythical Kitchen like Josh talked about this morning. But I've noticed it's true because like I know people who work at like the local butcher shop and shit. And they've said like the cost of beef is like it's rising. Yeah, so like you might want to start to learn to love chicken if you don't already.
How interesting that you bring that up. I yesterday returned to my local Burger King to try a second time their new chicken sandwich options. The first time, I don't know if we discussed it on the show. I don't think we did. Them bad boys tasted like filthy grease and were disgusting. I was very upset with them, and I was like, "This is what y'all doing, Burger King? This was hot in the streets."
I was mad because I've been wanting to try it, and I know like the restaurant, like if you go, it's like what, like $3.99 or something like that.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted like $6.50 to like Uber Eats it, and that just for the sandwich. Like that doesn't include delivery fees and all that. I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
I'll just sit here and I'll eat my Brussels sprouts and my steak. Thank you very much.
Well, I tried them again yesterday, and they were considerably better. They are massive cuts of chicken. I'm like, it's like insane how much chicken they give you. Like seriously, and way tastier, way better. Did they clean their grease? Was the first batch gross? I don't know, but way better. Still not fucking with Popeyes, KFC, or Chick-fil-A, and so
yeah, KFC seems to be my favorite so far. And strangely enough, I had the Burger King chicken sandwich today as well. I tried the spicy burpee.
I was mad burpee too. I like KFC. I mean, forgive me. I like Burger King's straight up as opposed to their spicy.
Yeah, spicy wasn't
Whatever's
good.
going on with their spicy just don't work right. KFC spicy is a banger. It's a really good sandwich. I can, as long as they're gonna play nice, I can see myself easily saying, okay, I want a chicken sandwich, so I'll slide over to KFC because you know what it is. Popeyes, I ain't fuck with y'all right now.
Yeah, I think with the Burger King spicy, they do it Nashville style and dip it in the oil.
That's probably what's going on there. Well, there you go. I'm saying a little chicken review, and this person being, I'm saying, like I said, I don't think the sister-in-law is an asshole for wanting to go vegan. I think it's probably a discussion today. That's another thing. I feel like it was sprung upon this woman who, again, is working 50 hours a week and is going through a divorce. That's a lot on her plate already. And you all of a sudden saying, we about to start eating vegan up in this bitch. Like, no, the fuck we not. So.
Who's we?
So I do not, I get it. Reddit thinks the person's an asshole. I disagree. I think this person has a lot on their plate and wants meat there instead. So, but...
Where's the beef?
Did I say I finished Dishonored last week in the realm of video games? If not, I did. I went that game I was supposed to just fuck around with for a little bit to check out the first person the frames per second boost that it gets on the Xbox Series X. I ended up playing through it in its entirety. God, I love that game. I would tell any and all to play Dishonored. It's free on Game Pass if you have that. And you can probably just cop it for probably a good price. I might just buy it for y'all motherfuckers and get some copies of them shits for the two of y'all that are not Game Pass havers, because I like that game so much that I would like to spread the good word of it as far as I can. And why not? You know what I'm saying?
I finally used my Xbox.
To do what?
Play Peacock.
What's Peacock?
The Peacock app.
The streaming service.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I knew your ass didn't play a video game whenever I used my Xbox. So Vox bought a $500 console with a $200 expansion drive in that bitch, an extra controller.
I got the $930 package. From GameStop
to watch Peacock.
I literally have had the system hooked up in my bedroom now since the beginning of December. Haven't played a single game.
He has Game Pass too, people. It came with the purchase.
Oh yeah, and then I bought more months of it. I have like a year's worth or something.
And I mean, you know what? Maybe you didn't know, but with Game Pass Ultimate, you get EA Play as well. So you have so many games you could be playing if you were so inclined.
It's in the games.
Also, MLB The Show comes out Tuesday on Game Pass, so it doesn't cost you anything extra. You just download the game and get some baseball popping. And Gabe, I feel like you've been back in the office. I don't think you've been playing anything.
No.
Yeah, Gabe, forgive me, Ant, you been able to play anything? You've been working a lot of overtime, so.
Yeah, I already worked 53 hours, and I got another day to go tomorrow. So hopefully I can get that, I think, what was it? No, I worked 50 so far. So hopefully I can get 63 before the week is over.
I just got this today. It arrived from the good people at Bezos' company. This is Ask Iwata. It's a book edited together from interviews and questions asked by he passed away, Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
Nintendo
I heard
CEO
about that.
Satoru Iwata, who passed away from bile duct cancer about going on 6 years back. He was an amazing creator. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because people slept on the fact, he ran Nintendo, but he also made games. He was a video game, designer before he was anything. And it was kind of dope to put a creative like him in charge of the entirety of that company. He was the man who came up with the idea for the Switch, and he never got to see it, released, because it came out after he had passed. But it's so dope that something he came up with and dreamed of was such a success, because it came out after the Wii U, which is did so poorly for Nintendo. And so this book is interviews where he basically talks about how he ran the business and and how he did business in general, and as well as talking about some of his time at making games at HAL Labs and so forth. And I wanted to get it. I almost bought the Japanese version just because I want to have it. But they finally this has been out for a couple of years in Japan. But they finally did a translation for America, and I was happy to grab it and can't wait to sit and start the book. But ask Iwata, edited by Hobonichi. Hobonichi is the guy who would do the interviews and stuff with. So yeah, I don't know who did the translation work. I don't know if they even say who did the translation work, but fuck with it. Translated by Sam Bett is what that says. So R.I.P. Iwata-san, man, you were real dope, and I'm glad your memory and your legacy live on. That's what's popping in our realm of video games this week, my folk. And that was your show. How breezy was that? 2 hours.
Easy peasy.
What's up?
It was easy peasy.
Easy peasy. That's how we get down, man. But you know what's up.
It was
you know what I'm asking of you.
Kitten britches.
As always, please rate, review, subscribe to share, and subscribe to the show wherever possible. Hit the bell where you got to. Give us some thumbs up wherever you can, and so forth and so on. Give us some stars if you can. You know what I'm saying? This stuff works everywhere. Stitcher's still out there. Ant uses it every day. You know what I'm saying?
I used it
Apple
today.
Apple Podcasts is out there. You know what I'm saying? Hit it up, and give us some, and show us some love. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is there. We are there. And were you a patron, you would have gotten a new video just this week. And shouts out to our newest patron.
Whoa.
Yeah, we picked up a new patron this week. I saw that when I went to check the show's email the other day. I was like, oh, dope.
Sugar honey iced tea.
Fuck with it.
Shout out to current patron and longtime listener, April. Congratulations on your recent nuptials.
Oh, dope.
Congratulations.
Well, hell yeah. I thought her kid got married. I didn't know she got married.
Her kid did get married, but she got married before her kid.
Props. Respect due, April. Good job. Love is a motherfucking wonderful thing.
I logged on to Facebook for like a whole 5 minutes, and you learn a lot.
You learn a lot. So big up. Also, apparently, we sold a couple of shirts. So I'm glad somebody took advantage of the sale. You know what I'm saying?
Do we buy Dogecoin with the profits?
It's up to 50 now, 56.
Dogecoin.
Really?
Oh my god. I don't know about
And that was about a half an hour ago lunch. So it might be different now.
Like, I don't have any, but I'm definitely like enjoying watching the show.
Okay. Well, as always,
It's at 26 right now.
and you know, speaking of, you know, Patreon, if you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss away, you can join the party over at Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We have I just spoke of this too. Merch available over at tpublic.com/user/StaysCrunchy and Milk, all one word. I will try my best to be better about letting you know when they do a sale. They seem to do a sale just about every month. You know what I'm saying? They pick a week and they just like, hey, 35% off, and that's a hefty enough discount that it helps with both the cost of the item and the cost of shipping. Shipping is where they get you at over at TeePublic every goddamn time. So it's dope when they go put stuff on sale because it helps, you know, kind of mitigate some of that. So you want to head on there and do that. That'd be dope. And hey, feel free to give us a call. 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8-POD. We certainly love to hear from you. That's my homeboy, Tatum 216, the illest.
Yep.
That's Lunchbox 2099.
In the building.
You should go check out the 2099 series of comics from many a moon back, where, you know, that is the derivative of my man's name, we were saying. Because it's some interesting books from there. Spider-Man 2099, X-Men 2099. X-Men 2099 is kind of trash. Spider-Man 2099 is pretty dope. So I would actually tell you to go check that out. That is the real ODP. Where will he be next? Where in the world is...
Oh, dirty Portland.
I am the Internet's Terror 713. You've just been podcast 2, and I know you loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
What happened to you? You used to be blue.